Okay.
All right. I'll call to order the August 8th, 2023 meeting of the Auburn Municipal Development District at 6 p.m. Jesse Hour is present. Vicki Dunn is present. Jack Hopper is present. Carolyn Cashin is present. Mark Abernowski is present. Johnny Bergeron is absent. Holly Drew is present. Carolyn, can I close upon the invocation again?
Father, we just come to you tonight. We thank you for your glory. We thank you for your wisdom. Lord, we ask for your wisdom in all of our dealings and everything that we do on this board. We ask for your blessings in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Community announcements. Items of community interest include or may include recognizing citizens and staff for outstanding contributions to communities. A reminder about an upcoming event that is organized or sponsored by the governing body, and announcements of an imminent threat to public safety that has arisen after the posting of this agenda. Charles, you got any community announcements for us?
There's a push in for the new fire ambulance tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It had to be postponed due to some striping issues, but they've got that ready to go. I just saw it over there. They've outfitted it and it will be in service tomorrow after the push in ceremony.
Nice. So that'll be 8, 9 at 9 a.m.
You want to say anything about people? Are there still bids available?
If there are, it's very limited. Peanut Festival's first Saturday in October. And I think we maybe have 3 or 4 booths left, if they are. That's the last I heard, like a week ago.
Awesome.
And
Nice.
sponsorship.
We added booths and we added booths. Do I?
She was asking about sponsorship. Christy.
October 7th.
Christy Sayer is handling sponsorships if anyone's interested. I've got a card here too, if anyone's interested. It has a QR code on the end, on the back, I mean.
Thank you. Citizen input. Any person may address the board. If your comments concerning agenda item, you may wait until the discussion on that item if you prefer. Once recognized by the chairperson, please step forward, state your name and address, and speak into the microphone. We'll get you as close as we can if you're on hand. For the people in the room and the road, please hear your comments and presentations. Request via video conference, click on participants on screen and raise hand. We will acknowledge you and you'll have your comments will be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is otherwise required by law. No discussion or action may be taken at this meeting on any item not listed on the agenda other than to make statements of factual information or recite existing policy. Do we have anybody online?
Just Alicia. Do we have-
All right, consent items. Items placed on the consent agenda are considered routine in nature and non-controversial. The consent agenda may be acted upon in one motion. Items may be removed from the consent agenda by the request of board members or staff. Consideration and action following minutes of the following Board of Directors meetings: July 11, 2023 regular meeting, our staff report, and the monthly financial report for July 2023.
And I sent out the financials to y'all in email, so.
Barely got it in time for the meeting. No.
It's beginning early time in the month.
Well, it's
usually
early,
we're
yeah.
later. Do you want me to pull up the minutes on the screen? Yeah, we'll have them.
Sure.
I make the motion to approve the minutes. I'll second.
Motion by Holly. Second by Carolyn. To what are you approving? I'm sorry, you're approving just the minutes or are you approving everything in the?
Everything, sorry, everything.
Okay. All right, Holly is rewording her to approve the consent agenda.
We didn't have a staff report though.
Oh, I submitted one in writing, but I can also give one if y'all want to do that after.
Sure.
Are you're good with that too, Molly?
Yeah.
Carolyn, you're okay with that amendment?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, all in favor? Motion carries. Jackie, you vote yes?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Motion carries 6-0.
Who seconded that?
Carolyn,
Yeah, it was in the email right here.
Yeah, no, I know, I didn't discuss, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with all, of it, not just the financial.
That's why I thought I read it. I was like, man, I thought I swear I read it.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
all right.
Do you want me to give my staff report now?
Love it.
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'd asked Jesse earlier if I could have the staff report pulled out, because I just want to give y'all a couple of heads up about some things that I've been working on, and also that will be coming up. So now that we've got all that approved, I'm going to go to my staff report, which is changed. I swear this, I have a million things up here. Okay, so the things are moving and grooving along. We do have some movement in some of the commercial areas. You'll notice one building came off of this. As far as available spaces and buildings, we do have a place that is potentially going in on 377 in the area that's in our ETJ, but it is not in the city limit. It is just north of well, it's that area of strip there with the propane gas and Vivas and all that. Yes, there's been a building for sale there and it is under contract, so that's good. We had a
Yeah.
sorry.
How close is the city limits to that building? It's not next door, right? It's
I'm
further down.
terrible with distance. It's like
But
a
it's not
quarter, half
exactly.
mile.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
thank you, sorry.
I know when we went out, all that ETJ, all of that, a lot of those people think they're in Pilot Point, but they're not. That
They're-
restaurant.
yeah, their addresses say Pilot Point,
Yeah.
so that's the confusion. So I did talk to the county permit and inspector, and he actually talked with me about, that I told him there was a building that had architect that had contacted us about what they were doing out there, and he's gonna have to inspect it, but if it's a replat, we would inspect it. So made a connection there with Dent County to, he's hopefully gonna start staying in touch with me if anything comes up in the Aubrey way from a permit for in the ETJ for a business permit. So that'll help. We also have one retail space that's in that 1001 377 over there at the Aubrey Creek Estates. That space looks like it is getting leased. I don't have information on, the broker hasn't gone back to me yet. Yes. So hopefully there'll be some more movement there. There is some 2 pad sites still up for building there. And then y'all received your development report in the email this week. As far as the 204 and 208 Main Street, across the street here, that building is going to need significant help with getting an updates. It is definitely gonna need a lot of work. So they've had some tenants looking at it. I've visited with those tenants each time. The broker and I are in contact, and he'll have a visit with me about their ideas. I talked to him about some of the issues they, may encounter. They talk about, what they want to do. So I've been able to visit with a few people that have been looked in going in that space. And I will be having, just so that we know from a standpoint of, what it would take. I have a friend, a restaurant owner that's going to come and, just kind of tell me what he thinks space wise, and also looking at the kitchen space that has nothing left in it now, kind of look and see what, might work in there or something like that.
Almost all restaurant stuff is furnished by the people that come in.
Yeah.
Usually they get permanent, but everything we built, it all is rented.
Yeah, so it's it's definitely got potential, but having one set of bathrooms is a challenge. So that's that with the building updates and businesses coming in. We also have some other things that we'll be seeing coming down the line very soon. So I send y'all those development reports so that y'all can stay updated. And then on marketing, I do later in the meeting, I have a presentation for y'all on our maps. We have been doing a lot of work to update those maps. And Charles can speak to that a little bit later. We still have some other maps that are not ready yet, won't be ready for a little bit because we got some changes with the annexations and planning and zoning. So, again, later in the meeting, I'll have some other information for you on a company called Neon Cloud that can actually do some really cool graphics, marketing, videos, and things like that. So, we are continuing to do things to the building as we see needed. You will see the demolition happening very soon. We had someone who is doing the demolition on another building nearby offer to demo ours at the same time, and we will not have to pay for it. How's that one?
Nice.
That'll be nice. So that will save us some money from not having to pay for the demolition there.
What? How's that happen?
It's so we're, yeah. Well, they're already doing a demo in the area, so it's gonna be a nice gesture that we don't have to worry about that happening. It's gonna happen pretty quick too, but once that's finished, I'll be able to call y'all to come look at the foundation. I do anticipate there's oil all over it because fire department told me that building was used for auto garage and auto stuff like that, so. And then meetings and trainings, I've been signing up for things that we really want to hone in on our marketing, like retail, restaurant, relocations, recruitment. So I'm going to a seminar in Dallas, August 23rd. That will be that very thing. Retail developers talking about what they're looking for, what's changing in retail. And then I signed up for the TEDC tax workshop, sales tax workshop, which I asked in an email some of y'all to do that. If you want to go, it's September 22nd in Dallas, Northeast Dallas, and it is a $200 fee. So it's put on by Texas Economic Development Council. If y'all are willing or wanting to go, I need to know. I think I have to register by August 24th or something like that. But let me know either at the end of this meeting or next week. And then TML is October 11th through 13th, that Wednesday through Friday, and it's in Dallas. So if you're interested in going to that, I'm checking the dates on this. If you're interested in going to that, let me know. I think that registration is also, maybe that's the August 24th date, but either way, it's coming up, and we can register y'all to go. It's in Dallas. Close by. The TEDC conference is in Houston. That's a little farther out. And that one is October 5th or 7th. So Houston's a little harder to get to, but I figure with those being right here in Dallas that y'all might want to.
I've been, but I can't either one of those dates.
Okay.
So I'm out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
For
TML is October 10th through 13th, 11th through 13th.
4th through 6th.
Oh, then TEDC is the 11th through the 13th. I'm getting my two mixed up. So 4th through the 6th is TML in Dallas.
I'm at yes, I gotta check with people.
You've got what?
I gotta check with some folks.
Okay. And then TEDC sales tax workshop, which is a day-long workshop on the use of sales tax, is September 22nd. And they'll give us like updates to the law and stuff like that.
And
So
that's one is here.
that's also in Dallas. I think it's in like Richardson.
TML's in Houston.
No, TML is in Dallas. TEDC annual conference is in Houston.
Okay.
Okay. So let me know as soon as you can on those, because I need to get our registrations in before they raise the price. We also have, let's see, I attended some things. I'm also going to speak next week at the Aubrey Chamber of Commerce luncheon on Wednesday. I'll kind of let them know just what's happening. I thought Charles might be able to join me in helping talk about some Aubrey things coming up in our growth, our pace of growth. It's Wednesday at Rancho de la Roca at 11:30. They haven't sent out their email yet.
They sent out the email
Did they?
today.
I didn't get it.
Like
You
this
mentioned it.
evening. Like
Oh, that's why I haven't looked. Okay. But so Jana confirmed that with me today. As far as anything else, I'm willing to go speak to other groups. If you know one, Pilot Point business breakfast might be one or something like that. So just keep me posted. If you have anybody that would like to hear what we're up to or going to be doing, that's totally fine with me. I'm happy to go do it. So that I think is it on my staff report. We've got, am I missing anything? Other than the interesting smell outside of our building that everyone smells coming in today, that we'll have to figure that out. But I try not to find things wrong because I don't want to keep finding things that have to get fixed. We did have
We did get a bill from the electrician for the ceiling fans.
yes. Did you bring it? Because I can give it to
I
Mike and get
sent you
it
the
paid.
same thing I got.
Okay.
Sent you-
I'll just use that and then I'll
It's
just,
like a picture of the bill.
Yeah.
I sent him an email back and said, can you have the electrician at least send a actual invoice?
if not, I mean, I can, I'll just give him the picture of the invoice to get it paid. So I just don't want him to not
That
get
was for
paid.
the
And then,
TV install,
Mhm.
ceiling fans,
Yeah.
fixing the,
yes,
somebody with a breaker, I don't remember what all was in that.
yeah.
It's just itemized out, but $600.
And I have not received, we did have our AC go out one day, the debris, and just dirt and grass and everything have been getting in it. And so they serviced it, cleaned it out. He has not sent me a bill, but I don't know if he will. But they cleaned it out and it
that's
works
something
much
that
better.
Actually, I would imagine, doesn't Aubrey have a maintenance, somebody that kind of checks, no? Okay, that's what it- Right now, it's like, in my business, the number one call, and the first thing is, have you checked your filter? Have you taken photos to your outside unit?
Well, that's exactly what he had to do. So,
Yeah, and every one of them
Yes.
is that.
Christine, on that invoice, just so you know. Okay, the electrician sent the contractor Tim Craft the invoice. Tim sent me the message and said, just pay.
the electrician direct.
He's not marking it up or
Okay.
anything, so that invoice is from the electrician to Tim Craft. He said, if you would just pay the electrician,
Okay.
so you got a different vendor that you haven't paid yet, but, that way he's not running it through his company and putting his markup on it.
Electrician direct. Okay, I'll make note of that. And at next month's meeting, I have been working on learning Placer AI or getting an orientation to it. It's really an interesting program. And I've Zach Tax. So I'd like to be able to give in the next meeting, I'd like to give y'all, if we can put on the agenda, I'll give y'all kind of a rundown of a little bit of what I think our profile is in terms of where are we getting most of our sales tax dollars? Where are we most likely to get, retail restaurant, or if we were, what would most likely come here? So a lot of that Placer AI offers these, some extra services with the membership that helps us, zero in on that. So it helps us just in telling developers who come here, hey, we know we're in the market for this. We have, so it's been interesting. Today is my 3rd month, 90th day. I brought cookies, so you can have cookies during the meeting. Please take some. It has been a very, rushed, busy 90 days, not just because of my job, but my life. My kids graduated college and high school, and this Friday we take our daughter to the University of Arkansas. We're going to be empty nesters, and I just am feeling it all right now. So it's been very, very nice to have everybody's support, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate your patience as I learned new systems and new ways, because coming from a different place for 20 years, things were done a little different, and I was on the outside of City Hall walls. So it's been great. Being inside City Hall has been wonderful. Staff is very supportive, helpful. Can't ask for any more. So I've really appreciated that. Charles especially has been, made sure that I'm part of the team, and that I feel very much part of the team. So I do think that going forward, I did also want to point out, y'all took one of these. Good. We have an updated, this is as of March 28th, 23. Greg Last, who did some training between Pilot Point and Aubrey's MDD, created that and gave that to me. I had talked to Greg about possibly doing another training. Yeah, take some of these. I'll take one, pass it down. I had talked to him about doing another joint training between the boards. He's interested, Denise in Pilot Point's interested. We could collaboratively train both the Pilot Point and MDD boards, get some board training. There are, you know, a lot of some laws and things that pertain to MDDs and uses of taxes, so it could help. I think everybody, so we could also, you know, refresh on some public information and public meetings and other acts that go with that. And y'all all did the cybersecurity training, so that's good. But I do think that we need to definitely train going so that we all can kind of work together and know, you know, what our parameters are for using this tax. So, and what our options are for doing deals and other fun stuff. So hopefully that handout will help y'all. And is there any other questions? And I want to thank Vicki for helping so much with all, and Carolyn's notebooks helped a lot with the detailed notes y'all have had and taken. It's helped me to go back and look, and it's a lot to absorb. I have not read them all, but it's been helpful to go back and have that, you know, to look back at for some history and things. But there's still a lot of things I think some of us at this table don't know why certain things were done a certain way, you know, why this investment was made, why there's, you know, what was the plan? But I think we also can take that as an opportunity to create our own plan, and we can move forward and have a new vision, because Aubrey is changing, and it's changed a lot in the last 10 years since, you know, economic development sales tax even started here. So I think that we're in a really exciting time for Aubrey right now, and I really hope that we'll see that and feel that in the next few months.
Awesome. Very good.
And that's it.
Cool.
The rest of the stuff I'll show y'all later when I do.
The map stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Where am I going? Back here, sorry. Oh, we have to go.
Yeah. Right, thank you for the report. In accordance with Texas Government Code, section 551.001, the Auburn Municipal Intelligence Board was recessed into executive session or closed meeting to discuss the following. Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, project 38. Section 551.072, real property, project 38. Do I have a motion to adjourn into executive session?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn into executive session at 6:23 p.m.
I'll second that.
Motion by Vicky, second by Mark. All in favor? Motion carries 6-0.
We hate to do this, but
Sorry.
we're gonna kick you out of the executive session.
I understand.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And beginning, my name is Mike Brownlee, resident here in Auburn. And heard about the committee and the meetings and things that's happening. So just want to be more informed and potentially stay on the committees in the future. There's an opportunity to.
Are you in the city, right?
I'm sorry.
Are you in the city?
I am within the city. I live right behind Rocky Mountain. I'm assuming yes. within the
Yeah,
city.
it is. Sometimes you never know.
Well, that is exactly correct.
I don't know how long.
Are we still on the board?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
just going to the executive session, do we have to wait in the corner? I mean, I do run that.
Okay, just.
I don't want to.
Finding this.
We got to. Well, now
Now.
now that we're
I
open.
make the motion to reconvene into open session at 6:57 p.m.
I second it.
Motion by Holly, second by Carolyn. Vicky Dunn stepped out of the room momentarily. All in favor?
All of it.
Motion carries 5-0. Actually, step right back in. I was going to wait for a call next time. All right, Vicky Dunn is back in the room at 6:58 PM. New business, new items, approved by board members, city staff, or citizens for consideration by the board. Number one, consider and accept resignation for Director of Place 5, Johnny Bergeron.
Yeah, I did not.
No, we're not accepting.
Well, I tried to call him just to say, hey, but he didn't return my call, so he's obviously ready to go.
Well,
I would like to make a comment that he has been truly an added party and a wonderful person to work with, volunteer with over the last few years. His calmness and his thinking has been really, really wonderful. So, yeah, I will reluctantly make a motion to accept the resignation of Johnny Bergeron, Director of Place 5.
I'll second.
Okay, and you were joking when you said you had a motion, right? All right, we'll make sure we're very, very clear. All right, motion by Vicky, second by Mark, all in favor? Motion regretfully carries 6-0. Consideration action regarding appointment of municipal development director, district director, place 5. Holly, I think this is your place, Surge? Nope, Johnny.
Yeah, it's still Johnny's. So we did have a couple of applications come in. I would like to enter, if y'all want to review
Yeah,
it.
you're not presenting, right? Because if they haven't, I want to make sure we have personally identified information. You're not presenting on the screen, right?
Oh, no.
Well, that's fine. I
Just
just,
to let you know, sorry.
that's cool. If you're gonna, I just want to stop before you went there. If you were presenting,
Okay, no, I'm not. I have my staff recommendation at the bottom, but I was gonna let y'all know.
Okay.
Well,
That
that's the thing, we want to see the applications, but we want to.
I
make
just didn't
sure
want
that
it to
we're
be-
Not dispersing it to the public, their personal address and phone number.
especially if they had checked the box saying they didn't want to.
No, I have hard copies.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Thank you for that, and that backup was just in case you need to see it on screen, but I do have hard copies for y'all.
I'm assuming you don't want your public information.
I understand this.
To the greatest.
That,
Awesome.
yeah. Although they all know how to get to us, right, with junk mail and everything else. Okay, so we do have two. We received Mike Browning, who is here as a guest. I'm gonna let y'all take one down and pass it around. And there is another one here from Aaron Bogar. Both are city limit residents. So I'd let you take one down, pass it around. But in case she sent this in as an additional, I printed it weird. And so I only have one to pass around and share. If y'all want to glance at her resume. But Mark you didn't have a resume attached, so that's okay. You don't have to have one. I just wanted to make sure we did not miss it.
Do we have two places open? We do.
No, we just have the one, but we had these two come in, so I wanted to share them with y'all in case y'all would like to review them. Do it. Again, my recommendation is review, discuss applications received to date, consider an appointment to the place 5, term ending September 30th, 2025. Or your alternative is to approve, deny, and entertain.
I do have a resume. If that is just-
Well, you can tell everybody. Y'all have any questions, you can ask.
After you showed up to
Yes.
show your interest, there goes a long way.
And I apologize, I called you Mark and it's Mike,
I did the
because
same thing.
we have Mark here at the table. So I promise I'm gonna get better at all this.
I am
It's a lot.
marketing and strategic account manager for Cumberland Advocate. It is a additive or a 3D printing company that prints for aerospace, oil and gas, or construction. Parts, metal.
You must be really smart.
I'm not a smart at that guy. I also own an additive company on the side called Symbiosis Additive that specializes in other types of materials that the company that I work for is not participating. I started that company in 2020. about the time COVID was
Oh,
laying
yeah.
everybody off.
Oh,
And company that I was contract representation for made an offer last year, so I'm technically full time. And I still maintain my consulting. Work from home primarily, travel, as
I think you've got a lot of experience on the Home Builders Association, the sports officials and technical association and. Yeah, that's good. That's a good variety.
Do you think, I know you said that you coach or you
officiate.
officiate?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I'm not.
I've been a football official for 15 years, covered some of the Aubrey JV games last year. They won't let me officiate varsity because of my residency. Someone in district team wanted to put the conference. So I do that, and then this year I began officiating volleyball. I just have all this stuff.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think, and I know you made the comment on the application that you didn't think you'd have any problems with the second Tuesday of the month. Do you
Right.
think that'll change, or do you think you'll be okay with that?
No, I think that'll be okay. Usually volleyball season is 1 or 2 months. This is my first season, so I'll be honest, I doubt that I'll have a lot of varsity matches. Beginning with, and that my intention is to transition from football over to volleyball full time. So next year, I don't anticipate finishing football, but that's usually Thursdays.
yeah, volleyball is Tuesdays, right?
Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
It's like season all the way through, yeah.
But the good thing about it is.
That's only about 2 times out a year.
Yeah. And it is a contract basis, so we set blocks in and say which specific day we do and don't. want to. So if I know there's potential conflicts coming up, then I can block with
So you block your second Tuesday of every month.
Second Tuesday, very month, yeah.
Any questions about MDD or what we do?
Further additional, other than the Tuesday, because I have Tuesday, but I've been working on boards in committees before. And I know that there's a certain amount of, activities and projects that you have to do work on outside of the meeting times. Is that the same with this committee as well, or what kind of things for finding commitments?
Just don't create the president or vice president position. It'll be fine.
Secretary.
It's,
And then there are occasional special meetings. I think, Mark, I told you when I talked to you about it, you might be on the hook for 14, 15 meetings a year. We don't typically have, you see, just 12 month, right? So you don't typically have a lot of specials, but there's the potential that we'll have some stuff that's just too time sensitive. That I would be surprised if we had more than 3 specials a
I
year.
was trying to think, I think we only had 2 or 3 last year.
COVID year we had.
and every,
Yeah, COVID, we had a few more, but that was because we were trying to do grants for businesses and those needed to be done.
Very times.
Yeah, very nice.
And attendance you have to be in person, you can't attend via Zoom and you can attend via Zoom, but you won't, your vote won't be counted.
So when we set those special meetings up, we also have to have a form that can attend, so those dates are normal based on that.
So, like I said, maybe 3 special meetings a year, that would be a very busy number of special meetings.
does that mean
Those
like,
which
I'm
can't-
on these,
My current travel take me outside of the district. Overnight travel is currently about 20%. A lot of times we get less than that right now. But I think on average, 25% is in kind of travel. And as long as there's a. Yeah, usually that happens with.
Yeah, I mean, we generally don't. It will happen. It could happen. As growth speeds out and we have some actions.
We also try to have these special meetings around when the majority can be at that special meeting too. We don't just go to this. Exactly. There's no having a special meeting.
and if you wanted to attend, say, a planning and zoning meeting or council meeting where there might be something coming up that MDD is involved in, that's always encouraged. From my standpoint, it's good for just everybody's day. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, just gonna sit in the last row on the second, third, and fourth seats from the end.
Okay, what other, did you have any other questions of?
That's the I guess right now, the starting committee and the purpose of the board, and I've been around other similar committees and economic development councils, so I would assume it's fairly similar. But that was the largest question I had, was making sure that I commit to the committee, I'm going to be available. We'll give the best effort and work in the best interest of our community. And,
That's fine.
well, actually, I saw, there was something I did see online on Facebook, and then also.
Yay, Facebook.
Mary, is Mary, and I've been around when I knew Mary and, from the area. So,
It's much better than that.
is she? Yeah, well, I better just.
You're being recorded, by the way.
So therefore, through that, I did.
There's no Mary without you.
Facebook posts as well. My wife was like, oh, this is what I think Mary, and this is what Jack was.
So if you can review, I was looking at the
Yeah, so
decision. making
for-
process.
New folks, we can recommend to city council. They're generally they generally accept recommendations, so even if we were to act tonight, they're not a member until after city council acts.
Right.
So this would almost certainly be on their August agenda. I mean, they haven't written it yet, but I'm betting Jenny's kind of holding the place for it already. So,
I will say that I like the fact that Mike, not Mark. Came to the meeting tonight. To me, that always. For me, that gives the bonus points to kind of see how we run. And I like his background. I mean, I like the fact that he's kind of enrooted himself in this community and is doing. Other things, and that's nothing against Erin. It looks like, she's also ingrained, qualified, ingrained in the community as well. For me, though, those extra points just came from him walking through the door, in my opinion.
Very good. So do we nominate?
do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we nominate Mike Browning for district for director of place 5.
I'll second it.
Motion by Vicky, second by Caroline, all in favor. Motion carries 6-0.
And I would also say that if Erin is, listening to this later, because she had another commitment to, you never know what positions are gonna open and when, so. We would certainly appreciate her volunteer time,
Certainly appreciate the application.
absolutely.
Yeah, and so do those, when we get applications like these go into a file where like, you have this one for next.
Yeah, we'll
round.
keep them on
Like-
file
Like
and
yours, Holly, we didn't vote at the meeting because we had thought that you were interested in another one and then another board. And so we were like, well, we need to talk to Holly. And then at the city council meeting, it was, well, we need to talk to Holly. And then it was kind of all done. We're like, but we didn't vote on it.
Mhm.
It was very confusing.
Yeah.
So yes, we keep them in a file and then we reach back out.
All right, item number 3, consideration act regarding reappointing members to place 6 and 7 for the 2-year term expiring September 30th, 2025. So Holly, are you interested in continuing to serve?
Yes,
Yes.
Started.
and I think we both.
they both submitted in writing
Yeah,
that they
that's right.
were interested. I got emails back from both of them, which is when I got Johnny's
Carol,
back.
you're still interested in this?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll make the motion that we recommend to city council that Holly continue to serve in place 6 and Carolyn continue to serve in place 7.
Second.
Motion by Jesse, second by Mark, all in favor. Motion carries 6-0.
Who made that motion?
I did.
I mean, who's Mark second?
Mark seconded.
I just wrote down his name. Okay,
Consideration act regarding electing a president, vice president, and secretary for 1-year term of office expiring September 30th, 2024, and designated as individuals assigned for funds for banking and financial accounts.
We've always opened this up and everybody got to share it, and I think I'm gonna nominate Jack because I think he hasn't had to step up before us for president.
Thank you very much. I'd like to do it.
2 years has been, at one time, we actually looked at setting terms for 2 years, but then we decided not to, because it's a big chunk of time. And it takes a lot to do it, and so everybody's very appreciative of
Yeah.
that serve. I mean.
You can hit
but,
burnout
I-
mode for
you know,
sure.
It's a good time, but
Been there, done that.
yeah, me too.
Sure, you want to hear, what were you were the VP?
I was
Yeah.
president. I've been vice president.
Vicky did it
If
all.
somebody else wants to do VP,
Are you
I'm
still willing to do
feeling
VP?
not be hurt at all.
Vicky's probably been the most committed board member we've had.
Yeah,
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah.
Since in the almost decade I've been involved,
Probably too.
I think, I think second to none.
Good job,
I'm
Vicky.
a pain in the ass, but I'm a loyal pain in the
I
ass.
don't see anybody else carrying Waterburg bags full of documents.
No.
Besides.
Yeah, they're all on the shelf.
Wait, you
I
are the
have-
secretary.
I have labels on whose folder, whose binders are whose, Vicky's and Carolyn's, because
Mm-hmm.
they both came with huge binders of information, so. There is no history lost for sure.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I'm certainly willing to continue serving as president. And don't have any, Jack and I have our disagreements. I don't have any issues with them personally. So,
Understand that? Everybody has disagreement?
The way I had it on here, y'all, I had it for going one at a time, like do president and vice president, secretary, so. Y'all can go down the list,
We probably need to vote one at a time.
right.
We've made a
Yeah,
nomination,
so
we have to vote
y'all will
on it.
notice that I put it in here in that order, so that will need to take place.
Might be, we want to start with secretary since Jack has put his name in for president.
I don't know that he would have to resign as secretary to put his name in.
No, because his position
Because
doesn't
it's-
end
it's-
in
all they
September,
all
and the new one
end-
doesn't start till then.
Yeah, all of your
Understood.
positions end September 30th.
Yeah. they're all-
I understand that.
So I don't think it matters. And
This is vote for president and then vice president, secretary, treasurer.
look here, I thought I read it all in here before the meeting, and it was that, the one thing you'll have to do is you have to have president selected, but you don't have to do it. You have until
One cookie down there?
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have a new president in place by October.
So do we make a motion if we've accepted it?
You
so
can
then-
nominate.
How do we nominated Jack and then.
Now you'll not vote.
Right.
So,
Any
There
other-
needs to be an official motion.
oh, wait, sorry, what, Alicia?
There does need to be an official motion.
Yes, yes, so
Yeah, so we're the nomination and discussion portion.
first is president, then is vice president, then secretary. I need a motion for each one.
Oh, we're gonna vote on them all at the same time?
No, I need a motion each time.
Okay.
So, yeah, right, Alicia?
That's correct. Yep.
So I made a motion to nominate Jack Hopper for president.
You're making. You nominate. So you're clearly making a motion to nominate Jack for president.
Wait a second. I will second that.
Let me catch up on my notes. Second by Holly. All in favor? All opposed?
I am abstaining.
You're abstaining, or you're abstaining?
Just
Yeah.
an abstaining vote. Also, Alicia and I clarified it means no. And it's,
Yeah.
right, Alicia, is that correct?
I am so sorry. It froze right as the vote took, so I didn't hear what the result was.
If someone, they need to know this before they vote, but we should have pointed out. Didn't you tell me if anybody abstains, it's considered a no vote?
Correct. So there's not a legal requirement to abstain in this situation. So if you choose to, if you don't want to vote for yourself, for example, and you abstain, it does count as a no.
So do you want to
So essentially, I can't abstain.
Right.
Well, you can choose not to vote,
You
but.
just need to say one or the other.
Never know.
Yeah, here.
Sorry, Vicky.
So yeah, then how do do you want to recount that or do you?
Do you want to do that again? Or
Are you restating your position or are you staying in abstain? And
Have
the
it
question
now.
is posed for you as well.
and who seconded Carolyn, Holly?
I did, I seconded.
Holly seconded.
The problem is that even if I abstain, that counts as a no, and then it's still
3-3.
3-3.
It's a tie.
We
And
have to see before,
you have to
October
see
1st.
before October 1st. So you could have a tie tonight. Alicia, remind if I'm getting this wrong. If you have a tie tonight, you can try again in September. And then, but by October, y'all have to have a president in place voted on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
So-
could sign as president. What do you think about that?
So Alicia, did I have that right?
Right, so if you have a tie vote, because it does require a majority, it would be a failed vote. And then you could either take another motion to nominate someone else and go through the process again. You could nominate Jack again, you could make a motion to table. But you would have to have a majority vote at some of some sort. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what I thought I read in the bylaws.
Well, and the problem is that next month I will be in Detroit, so you may end up with the
We
same
still could
problem.
have the same problem because you can't vote by Zoom.
we maintain excellence.
It still counts as a no if she does, so.
Yeah, I'm just,
I would,
would you like to adjourn tonight?
no, I don't want to adjourn.
Okay.
I will say that I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, the motion does not pass.
So
It's the board's pleasure. Do you want to move on to vice president, secretary, or do you want to wait until we have an answer on president? I know you said you wanted to do president first. So,
Well.
They can do- yeah.
okay,
So Alicia, can they still vote on, they can still vote on vice president secretary tonight, correct?
Or you could have another, you would either need a motion to table the president vote, or you would need another motion for a new candidate.
yeah, or we can end up tabling the entire item if we need to.
Correct. You could always come back and do it next meeting.
Mhm.
Make a motion that we table it till the next meeting.
Motion to table by Carolyn,
I'll second it.
Okay,
second by Holly.
Just to clarify, is that to table the entire, all three, or just to table
just
president?
the president, Carolyn, or
I thought it was all three of them.
all three, you want to
Well,
table all three
Earlier she said
election?
do one at a time, so
Okay.
here's what you have to clarify.
Yeah,
which
we're
motion.
gonna have to go.
Well,
through
y'all
each.
already did, we already had to take care of president, so
now
then
we
we're making motion to
Table the.
table vice president and secretary. Right.
You don't want to vote on,
So you're making,
Well, it's gonna make a difference on how it all lands out. You don't do it all at once, who's available and who's not.
So you're gonna need to vote to table president, you'll need to do table vice president, you'll need to table secretary.
Lisa, because you have to
We
do
don't-
3 separate motions, or one motion is,
It's a block.
I would be okay if you're gonna table all of it, I'm okay to table all of it with one motion. But to appoint each person, those need to be separate votes.
Okay,
So I'm okay with tabling all of item number 4 in one motion.
and
Yes.
that is your motion.
I make a motion to table all of item number 4 till the following meeting.
Holly, you still consent to that as your second?
I-
So we asked for clarification on what she was motioning.
I think so,
Okay,
yeah.
so we still have a motion to table all of
Yes.
item 4 and a second from Holly. All in favor?
we're all in
Opposed?
favor. Vicky was.
Motion carries 5-1 with Director Dunn opposed.
Well, we'll go on.
All right, update review of the MAPS program, item number 5.
All right, well, I wanted to go over this MAPS program with y'all because I know that you all were sold on a product that has certain features that are great, because we have certain features that we will need for showing developers. However, some of these features I have found are going to be a little bit limiting. But first I want to show y'all our story map, which is a map I updated with all the businesses, so every in our ETJ and city. So every pin here represents a business in our ETJ or city. So you click on all these pins and anybody can go and find what business is where. And we will be able to help
What's that
people
one at the
figure out.
south end?
I'm sorry.
What's that one at the south end you got down there?
Oh, that's NAVO. And keep in mind, these pins aren't just businesses. It's also any city municipal buildings
Okay.
and complexes. So the other issue that is a little limiting is that we only get 100 pins. So if we, so if we grow, then we'd have to take off these pins, which my recommendation would be to take off pins that aren't really cities of businesses. Yeah. And then there's a couple of businesses I took pins off for that weren't really businesses where people walk in the door and just, go shopping. So, or, go for appointments or whatever. So ranches, venues, those types of businesses are on here. Feed store, we have, all the places on 377, even those places that have the pilot point address that are in our ETJ, I got all those up here. So everything is set on a story map. I'm planning to, we changed the logo, Charles, we got that changed. So I'm going to plan to link this to our MDD website page, and it'll be on the city's website.
So this is one of our 4.
This is story map doesn't count as any of our 4.
Okay.
So, okay, so here is the map and all of that.
We got one pin for the bottom.
No, all American towing. but-
Yeah, no All American Towing, and then actually corrective massage is in there
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so some of these businesses, I
Go
know
the other way.
Okay,
Right there.
yeah, right
There's
here.
2 more businesses in there.
Okay, that is where I have in the executive summary sheet that we can make corrections as needed. So if y'all will let me know, I'll get those to the map company. So this is the pit crew cycle
Right.
place. So it's, I think you're talking about right here.
No, I'm not. I'm talking in that same area.
Oh.
There's 2 more businesses.
Okay.
There's All American Towing
Okay.
In that barn.
in that building to the right,
There.
right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
And then there's also a corner of that building that is corrective massage.
For the cyclists, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note by pit crew cycle.
I do have one question on your new businesses. On 377, where the school is, the back road into the high school, is there a business? Is there business going in there? Is that residential? I tried to look at the meetings and it's like.
So there is a commercial property on the north corner of that road. And maybe Charles can give a little better update, but to try to sum up, I think the issue is where the curb cut's gonna be. And they wanted to be able to bring traffic on the road. The school district didn't want to allow it because they want to control it comes off down that road.
Right,
So I think that's a summarization of what happened at, gosh, because that goes back, that building over a year, I think, when council act, the one, the
Well,
back
where did
meeting
you-
football stadium.
yeah, where they're doing all the dirt work right now. Is that home? Is that residential or is that business?
That's a 5 unit shell,
Oh. Business.
Commercial, yeah.
five commercial units inside. It'll look something similar to what's in where Julia's is at,
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
but it'll face Pine Ridge. And they got a curb cut.
They did, okay.
Okay,
It just took them a minute to get that.
Well, that was the one that held it up, right? Because it's over a year ago, the council acted on that, I think.
Yeah, the school was concerned about, what's going to be there.
Yeah,
And they had to give their permission for them to, because that's their road.
right. Right, okay, sorry, thank you.
and that's okay. So just so you know, on story maps, we can make changes to that anytime. If I have an addition, a change, spelling correction, you notice something online that I didn't catch. definitely let me know. I can email him and he'll change it. It's
So-
pretty easy.
If you zoom all the way out. Is this all the layers that are turned on right now?
No. This is just a story map, which just has this gray area here as well, can have photos. We were dropping in some Google photos, but they're so ugly. I just hate doing that. I'd rather have gray box. So I'm just thinking we need some better pictures.
What I'm thinking, like, if this is what I'm looking at, if I'm gonna look at our website and go, oh. You know, I don't see city limits, I don't see ETJ.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to Melissa McDormand this Thursday. We're gonna go over, I'm gonna get on a Zoom call with her and talk about placement of those map links, because we can have the story map link, we can have, and we'll title it, we'll say for city boundaries and ETJ boundaries, click this map or whatever. So we'll have a way to tell that. So anyway, this is story maps, and it is definitely gonna be added on to as we get bigger, but that 100 pins is a little bit limiting, and that's a little concerning, but this company is definitely printing a lot of maps for a lot of different cities. However, there are some features that they can't do that I think we would need for our website. So I'm going to go to the next set of maps just so y'all know.
So this set of maps, these are our four.
These are
There's
all the
also-
maps, and I'm going to show you the 4 that we can use on our website. But
Can you
Now-
briefly show us, do you have the access to show us the other?
Oh, yeah.
So we
I
can kind
can
of
show
see,
you all of them.
so, because like, we're looking at 4, we're like, well, what about?
Yeah, oh yeah, well, we'll also be using, so I'm gonna start with number 1. So number 1 map is just the school locations.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have Denton ISD on there, it just has, well, it may have been. I got it. Okay, so we do have some Denton ISD schools in our ETJ,
Right.
so we will have to list them, their
Yeah.
campuses. It's just Sandbrook Elementary right now, and maybe
Where's the other?
I think the rest of those are out of our ETJ. So, but we did make a color code for Aubrey and for Denton. So, but that map, I had asked them for reasons that I know our developers would want to know. Can you put our school district dots inside these maps? This is a very blurry version of it, so they're gonna have to fix that, but that would help with realtors and whoever else or any developers knowing what schools and district they're in next to them. So that's one map. That's not one of our maps though, but that's okay. I still gave input just because we're gonna be sending them everywhere to look at these maps. So this page here is our Aubrey facts, where we have, I'm trying to zoom, but this little tool of theirs is, see, they got the editing tool. Nope, don't want to add a comment. You know, find their Zoom tool. It doesn't, once you're in the portal, you can't.
Control and then scroll in,
you
control
try,
and scroll,
like,
push the control button
and
and then scroll with your,
oh,
scroll with your.
no, oh, there, thank you. Okay, so education listed all the stuff that we have, Aubrey's fast facts, our population, which if any of that's changed, but Christy and I, Sayer and I have gone through this and kind of combed through it. Aubrey ISD's list of schools, Denton ISD has one elementary school right now, so listed that. I went ahead and added the Aubrey ISD enrollment because I've had some developers ask me what the enrollment is of the high school, the schools. So I went ahead and did total enrollments, just also to show the percentage of growth that's happening each year. It's a good add. So transportation is, I added in left field, I added in, it did not have 377 on there for some reason, so I added that in. And we have, of course, the North Dallas Tollway Loop Road projected, so. we have that in
This
there.
is from City Hall, or do we know?
No, I don't have any. Oh, you know, that is a good question on the 45 and the 38. I'm not sure what standard they use. They might measure it by what GIS says our downtown is, because I always disagree with how many miles it is, but they may be marking it by the city limit. They may be marking it by downtown. So a lot of this stuff they're getting from satellite and Google, so that's how they're using it. So I didn't feel like at this point we needed anything else in the fast facts except for these numbers. So
Well, then look at the transportation would be here.
So the only other airport I might consider adding would be Alliance Airport because of shipping and freight
For commercial stuff.
for any
Alliance and the
light
airport.
industrial and shipping. Yeah.
So like when Blue Diamond came in, one of the reasons why they're here was power in that building. But they wanted to be a certain distance from the terminal at Alliance, because that's where their product, their raw material comes into that terminal and has to be trucked. So I think that's a good
We'll
call.
see if we can ask that.
We could use an airport, once you get us an airport.
Well, McKinney's already got that one down, so maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna ask about Alliance Airport being added. And that's one fast facts. Okay, so got that down. And then we have this map is our it's taking a while to load, but by the way, the difference in this map and what is like a Google map, or it's like a Google map, it's satellite images that are uploaded all the time, updated all the time. But there's no motion to it. We can't do like a flat map and like Google, like a flyover. You can't do any of that with these. So it limits us, we're limited to flat graphics. So
That's it. When it's constantly updating, is it like Google Earth where you can do like a slider for time? Okay,
oh, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Shoot. No, I don't want to draw more. Sorry. Do you mean?
so like Google Earth, you know,
Uh-huh.
satellite mapping, they've got a slider at the bottom that you can like slide your different time.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like if I wanted to go back and look at like, well, he's hunting, so like,
yeah.
oh, when did they log that? You know?
I don't know if it tells you the time it was logged, but that's a good question because, but he made it sound like it's every day. So like every day, if it goes on, there's a new satellite image. So it's as fast as these satellites take images. So this map here has a legend on it that I can't get out. I gotta get my grabber. The legend is down here and it tells us, and it's not full yet, you guys, but that's because we're trying to get some totals in there for y'all. So the legend will have on there, this one's easier to rotate it.
Is this something we can access right now? If we want to go in and just look at it ourselves?
No, I only have, there's only so many, but the thing is on here, this legend down here is gonna have your counts, house tops for every subdivision that you see listed here. So like, for instance, we've got subdivisions that are number 12, that's Winridge, or no, that's Silverado.
That are in the city limits.
Yeah, that are in the ETJ
ETJ.
and city limit. So ETJ and city limit are all on here. The red is city limit, the green is ETJ.
Okay.
So we asked them to put in that legend at the corner that tells every amount of housetops in every one of these circles representing a subdivision that is yet to come or that is on the ground already.
So we just annex east on 428, like apartments? Is that on this map? Annex those, or they're not on this map?
The
We
apartments,
annexed apartments on 2931.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
I did give him just today, that's probably what you're talking about right there.
No,
Look over.
no.
So you have to look at the legend, or if you click on 9, does it tell you?
Think of that.
Well, and is it,
I
could be
don't think it has
different?
that capability, Jack.
Well, is it
The
different?
legend is flat, it's a flat map. It's not dynamic to where we can click on it and it'll pop up. It doesn't have those type of
And you may
graphics.
not know, is there a difference for what will roll the public? If the public clicks, it'll show, or?
I don't
Your
believe it
design
does. I don't
sometimes
think
just
it's
looks
that
different.
fancy.
I think you could probably do that with your website, whoever you have to do your website, they
Yeah.
can make that interactive. If it's a flat map,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I
you
need
know
to
what I
ask
mean?
Carolyn, but I mean,
Well, so this is
Melissa.
that mapping program, we partner with the city. with.
Yeah.
So I think their servers is what runs it, and then we would just emulate it over, so.
And then you.
right, it's embedded.
Whenever.
It'll be embedded. So we'll get to that pop-up stuff next when I talk about neon media, because neon media actually is who they referred us to for getting any kind of live
Oh.
3D motion graphics
There you go.
anything like that. So we can do that though, it's in those types of scenarios. But this legend right here, basically, keep in mind, I'm in the portal, so it's not it's easy to zoom, yeah. So, what will happen is people will be able to go to number 12 and look and see how many housetops are planned there. So that'll help developers. Also, I asked them to put our ETJ and our city limit in this map together, because it's going to show them the market area that I believe is our market area for just this part of Aubrey. I mean,
Is that the orientation?
no, you can flip it, but again, because I'm in it gets real funky. So, so that is an ETJ, and I did send him today the annexations that just took place. I sent him the coordinates for that to update that. They didn't get it done yet, so. Okay, so this is, the zoning map is here on your left. This top map here is just, again, a good overview of our ETJ and our city limits, okay?
That's all that is.
This does not have all the mumbo jumbo of the subdivisions and all of that, because that can be, we can, you know, have another map view for that. Quite honestly, the cost of these maps to print them is so much, I would just be referring people to these links anyway.
The zoning one.
The zoning map, however, is not ready because it could possibly be changing, and Charles can speak to that more than I can. But there is an annexation mapping and zoning mapping that is going to be changing, has to get done. So I would not, what I wanted and asked for was to overlay the zoning and the type of zoning on top of this map, so that when they're looking at it, they're looking at one big shot of Aubrey and where is the zoning in this red area, where is it in the green area, and what kind of zoning. Well, Charles, we don't think it's time to put the zoning on there just yet, because it can be changing. It's changing. Annexation and zoning is changing just about every day or every week, seems right. So this map here would be one that I would probably use a lot just for showing, hey, here's Aubrey, here's where our commercial zoning is, and here's where the, you know, how big it all is, because I don't think people have a concept at all of how big Aubrey's ETJ is. They don't know if they're in Aubrey or Krugerville or Crossroads or wherever. They think it's all Aubrey. But to know from a standpoint of development, if you know, hey, all that's up there in Aubrey, so it makes a difference for them to have a visual.
I have one other question. Why is it so expensive to print? Is it because you're printing a big map, or?
It is a very large map with it's hanging on my board in there, and it's got crazy folds, but I think they're just, paper's getting more expensive. The type of paper that you use, the color, it's not cheap. I am getting a company in Denton to quote printing for me if they do that size.
I thought we should did this when we paid the 10,000 for this, was to get away from printing paper ones.
Well, you can still print paper, but you don't have to, but you can if you want to.
Right, there's a charge to it, and the other thing.
And it's 5,000 now. So, I mean, no,
So we funded the initial development of 10,000.
Yeah.
And then the
So,
ongoing is 10,000.
ongoing is, yeah, our portion is 5,000 or no, the total is 5,000 a year. So we're only paying 2,500 for them to come in and change and edit. If we want to print like a big one for that wall, that was going to be like $1,800. And then I have it on y'all's list. And then to print like 75 to 100 of them and have them folded is like another 1,800. So I don't recommend that, because we can use this and we can, once they're solid and on our website or whatever, if I brought in a prospect in here, I could show them on the big screen and it would be fine.
I was just curious, because like that doesn't seem like, that seems a lot of money for, I just had plans, plans in for the house, I don't, but maybe it's because it's so much for color.
Yeah.
A big one over at City Hall that was a lot larger, but the problem is just they outdate so.
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Sure.
Because at one time before, we paid a ton of money for 10,000 maps that we probably still have.
We do.
thousands of it.
We have a lot in the
And they're
closet.
so outdated, so that was the reason
That makes
was going up, and I
Yeah.
voted for this because I've seen such a waste of the paper.
For sure.
Now,
This one's going to grow.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a good use of a program where you
Makes
can,
sense.
I can get in this portal, I can send them an update. Christy can do it. I can get online, I can email them for the story maps. It's a little limiting in how many pins, but I mean, I can easily update this online in real time. I mean, as quick as they can get it updated, I should say.
But once it's there, now, I mean, cannot anybody go into the city of Aubrey and look at, say, that zoning map or anything online?
They can, but right now, were you saying we shouldn't put the zoning map up yet?
The zone.
On the-
I'm just using-
This map, yeah, all those maps are online now. We can update it and change
Oh.
once we get the embedded link. That's what I have to talk to Melissa McDormand about, is embedding those links into our website so that when I go in and make a change, it's gonna automatically, it's gonna be an embedded link to this, and I don't have to worry about having her change it every time.
Well, this
So-
map is going to change. That ETJ map will
Yeah.
change
Yeah,
because it does not include the 1 mile radius.
Hmm.
It's still half mile.
Oh, okay.
Engineers are still working on the annexation map, which will then turn into, when they're done, they'll measure out the ETJ from half a mile to a full mile because we're over 5,000 population.
Right.
So it will. The bottom part won't, because down there by Silverado and all of those areas down there, those are developer agreements, and back in the 90s. Individual citizens voluntarily annexed into the ETJ, so that's a lot of that. Some of that on the west side as well is voluntary annexations into the ETJ. But the areas right around the city limits, they will just, they'll blow up a little bit.
Okay. So, so we will have, like, if the map isn't on, when they say we have 4 maps, it means I kind of have the say for that map is what it means. Like, you know, what I want done with that map. It just, well, we have access to all these
and we're
maps.
still on the city's first 6, right? We haven't got ours, am I right?
Well, these are on.
Oh, no, these are the ones you just looked at, 4, I think I'm 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are flip sides, but this side here. So this map here is the one that I asked them to do. Let me see if I can see it on this. Where I asked them to put in the subdivisions, the city limits, the ETJ, what's coming, all of that, and the totals, and the legend, so that at one glance, anyone looking at this map knows where the growth is happening in Aubrey. So it's not gonna have your schools and all that on there necessarily, but it is gonna have the people where the houses are, which I think is what is most important when we're looking at attracting certain types of businesses, so, or getting their attention. So as subdivisions and things come up, or as annexations change, like for instance, this one already has the annexation of that ranch in there. So the one that was just annexed in last week. So I'd asked them to change that. So they just need to change it on the other maps. So it's
What was,
Circle line.
what's the name of that place?
Highboy?
Annexed in last week. It's behind the venue.
The venue,
oh, the
the
venue,
new venue.
It's a new
Oh.
venue. It's right by McNatt Road.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
so that
I don't
area
know.
there, yeah. So, well, that might gives it bigger. Anyway, it will be changed as annexations happen. So again, online, easy to change, easy to do. So I did send him today the coordinates to make sure it's correct, you know, before, I want to make sure it's correct before I link it to our website.
mhm.
This is called the flip side. We have 2 flip sides. So this one I put in. Dang it, I keep doing that. It's out of habit. I keep thinking I'm gonna click and get a grabber, but this is our area information.
Did y'all get permission to use that? photo?
Yeah, the photo.
Mhm.
Nobody knows who took it.
I do.
Well, they hadn't said anything, so no.
It's my cousin.
Oh, is she upset? So this, I actually love a print of it, but this information here is information on just what I kind of updated what was already written. I don't know when it was written, but I changed a little bit just to kind of update it. It might have been a while. So we listed up the most recent businesses that are here that, you know, came to Aubrey since probably 2018 when this was done. But the information that really changed was, okay, This was my question, and I don't think he's updated this yet. That is weird. Why is it not? Because I took that out. The Aspen Meadows reference. That to me was like, maybe at the time Aspen Meadows was the only master plan community or something. That's why it was mentioned, but basically, I think we could take that out. And change it just to be overall in general, there's master plan communities with preserves and meadows and parks and rec facilities or whatever. Down here in developments, I updated information a little bit again. They had horse capital, I just changed it to horse country because that's typically what we were referred to. They had information about, they didn't have a school at the time that Sandbrook was done, so I updated that. Windridge, Silverado, Aubrey Creek Estates.
Who's Alex Phillips?
I'm sorry. Oh, wow. I didn't see, thank you. I didn't see that. I was too small. Who is that? Maybe they just plugged that in from another map. Gotta update that.
Yeah. Ow.
Did you know an Alex Phillips? I bet they have like templates that they just drop in pictures.
I'm sure. But
Okay,
that kind of goes to my next question. So is there like a process you guys do where you go back and have somebody reread these, proof them?
yes. Yeah, well, every time I can go in this portal anytime I want and I can prove what's been done. And if he hasn't done it, I send him another note and say, hey, you gotta update this. So
I mean, like proofreading as far as like,
Oh,
spelling.
yeah, Christy and I will go back and forth. Like I'll check hers, she'll check mine, but I don't think she's had a chance to look at this since I updated our stuff on this flip side. Burleson. Oh, well, then they must do Burleson's maps, and that must be where it came from. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, like Julia Cafe. It's not possessive on here, but I'm pretty sure her business is Julia's. I just noticed two things I noticed.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
asking, like where you're at the process.
Yeah, and well, I'm being recorded. I'm giving some changes and edits as I see them, but yes.
Okay.
I do see stuff like that, and I thought I had changed that. Some stuff I send gets changed right away, some stuff doesn't. So I'm having to be pretty careful about that. So I did a bunch of this last week and up to date, actually even up to today and yesterday. So I'll get that changed, but basically all the new residents, we will have this information here as new stuff comes out. We can update that and change that. I would like to take a different picture of our building. Let me scroll down. I know.
Belmont.
So, and I only listed the Aubrey ISD schools. I could list the Denton schools if y'all feel that, but we have really only one Denton school.
You need to list it.
Okay, so is it just Sandbrook though, right? Okay. So let's see.
But it is,
Yeah,
and the people in,
but Navo and Braswell are definitely not our eyes. ETJ,
What is the one on?
right?
they're not in our ETJ, but a lot of our residents
Sure.
children go to Broward.
I guess I could look at those maps of Christie and see which ones we could list them on.
I
Okay,
would think that for our map of Aubrey, we would just keep what's in our ETJ and city limit schools. I don't think we
Okay.
could do the outer stuff.
Okay.
Because they can have their own maps if they want people to go to Roswell and stuff like that. I mean, that's just my opinion. If I'm looking at Aubrey, I want to see what's in Aubrey. I don't really want to see what's around, or I'm gonna go look at those things from looking
Yeah.
at the land from looking.
yeah.
What does it say? Does it say the rim at the bottom?
Yes, it does.
Why, where?
All the way to the bottom, where
Okay.
Oh. I wonder if that's a cut point or something. That's weird. I'll ask about that.
The issue with Braswell and the infrastructure down there is that's the city limits is Wind Ridge. And so they're in Denton ISD. And we
Oh, and
we
they're in
tend
our
to leave
city.
them out.
Well, so Windridge is in Denton ISD, but Aubrey ETJ.
It's Aubrey city limits.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really confusing. So people get way confused
Yeah. That subdivision is in our city limits, so
when you're trying
Right.
to buy a house. You're like, oh, well, I'm going into Aubrey city limits expecting to be in the Aubrey school district. And then,
you're in Denton ISD.
yeah.
Well, that could be misleading because people look at ratings and all that stuff.
Very
on
much.
ISD.
So
So
that's why it's-
basically, you would almost need to just point like that subdivision, what ISD they're in, if it's in our proper. To be, for people to know,
I think there's a lot.
like, on that, you wouldn't have to have it, all the schools there, but like if you go up to Glen Ridge, you would put Denton ISD on it.
But since you get three times word.
Yeah,
My granddaughter lives in Lake Highlands and she goes to Richardson School.
but when people
Lake
want to,
Highlands is actually Richardson School, which is over here, Richardson, yeah, it's over here.
and there is a lot of people that choose where they live off the school district, so
Oh, for sure.
that would be a real.
Yeah. For sure. It's
Okay,
almost necessary to have a different school district, it's almost necessary just so that you're picking the right location.
Well, I guess too, in Texas, you can choose any school you want, but
It-
go to your schools available, if you're out of space, you have to go to the one that.
okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this, some of these while I'm sitting here thinking about it. There's not a school in Windridge that proper though, right?
Sandrock Elementary is right next door in the Sandrock subdivision. Half the kids that go to Sandrock live in Windsor. I think some of them might live down in Arrowbrook too, because I think Union Park's elementary school is full.
Oh.
Um,
That's in Little Elms city limits.
It's nuts out here, what the school districts are. I'm just gonna denote it like this right now. On the AISD schools.
So this is just gonna be something we're updating for a little while to get to the firm thing.
Yeah, I'd like to get, I need to get at least one posted or done pretty quickly, and I would recommend it be this one. No, wait, this one that shows all the subdivisions, the boundaries and the ETJs and city limit, because we've got developers that want to know now, like how many housetops.
And
So that's the most helpful, I think, right now too.
I agree, and I don't think that the school district, we're doing businesses, we're not worried about the school district.
Right.
For
Right,
citizens, so I don't think the school districts really need to, I agree.
Yeah. So,
and I actually think that our subdivision map draws developments, but I actually think that probably the most. Important one for us is showing where we have commercial venue openings and what there's what those are actually
Yeah.
zoned for, what type
Right.
of commercial property.
so for instance, this has the new picture, try to maybe get some better pictures of a couple of them, but this shows the Domino's and the new commercial strip. There are pad sites there, we could put pictures like that up here. We can take a different picture of our building, that's the library and the park, so those are the things that, and then this list here is just constantly changing, so the only one we can do or need to do is really what's the most recent, so. I'll check those spellings and corrections, but, the question I had was about Aspen Meadows, was that put in this copy because that was like one of the first subdivisions that came to Aubrey that had those master
remember
plan
the-
community features? No, that's what I don't know either. No, this says Aspen Meadows. I'm like, do we even have an Aspen Meadows? But,
Aspen Meadows is a part of the Lakes Freshwater Subdivision, or the
okay,
the Lakes Freshwater District, and that's part of Silverado.
okay, but I thought it was weird to only list one place. So I tried to make it general, and I did change the copy, and he just needs to reread my comments, but that whole paragraph there, I basically changed it to Aubrey has several serene, peaceful, master plan communities, blah, blah, blah. So that's the maps. And as you can see, they're flat. There's no three-dimensional graphics, nothing splashy. Fastfax is pretty well set. I think I could also take this graphic and just make copies of it in a flyer format and give it out at shows and stuff like that.
Except for the logo.
Oh, they didn't change that one either. Comment on that. Thank you, Charles. Please change the. Okay. Okay. All right. And then I'll figure out places for our MDD logo to go on some of those strategic maps. So, and I can put our MDD logo maybe down here. But that's our maps program. So y'all can see it's a little bit different, but it's helpful, it's useful, but I want to show y'all a company that he referred us to.
Before you jump in.
Oh, sorry.
How big is the map as far as the total program, like right now? How many,
Panels.
what size like memory stick would this fit on?
Yeah. totally different.
Oh, I don't know, that's a question.
Because that might be the sort of thing, again, little promos for shows, Aubrey on one side, Aubrey MDD logo on the other. And, you download it right before your show. I mean, that would take a little bit of time, but
They can give them to us,
Cloud-based.
well, they can give them to us in PDFs, PDF formats. So we could do QR codes with we can do a card with QR code on it that takes them to our page. I'd rather do that, like the business card size.
yeah,
And then the PDF, I can download a PDF each time one's done. And we can print those out if we needed to. It's just not very big. So, I mean, that's the only limiting thing. I could get a PDF printed in maybe a 24 by or 11 by 17 size or something, but we do get the PDFs.
sometimes those shows or Wi-Fi is hit or miss though. So,
Yeah, so I'd almost rather do QR codes on the back of the card, go to our website, that kind of thing. But here's what I really would love to do.
So when,
But-
did I miss when this is, we're hopefully gonna have this live?
When he makes these corrections, I'm ready to go live with the Aubrey Fast Facts and this map. This one that has all the ETJ and the subdivisions. I just need to get these counts finished. I just need the staff to give me those total counts, and I'm waiting on Christy to help me with that. For the subdivisions and make sure that those are the total house counts are on there. So I can go live with this and this once it's finished. The zoning map, we are not recommending going live with that just because of, but I mean, on our site, I think these two are a safe bet. I'm still not sure about this one. I want to update it more, but it's not a real
I agree.
hard,
That's not quite ready for.
it's not a hard map yet that we have, or hard flip side that we need yet. But,
Maybe showing the map and have get into the businesses on it and stuff.
That's always online. That story map. It will always be on our website as an embedded link. So anytime it's updated, it will update on our site. It's always a live update. So
when will that go live?
as soon as I get him to fix those two things you pointed, the auto place and the corrective massage, I'll make sure we get those on there.
Then I noticed, there was a Penny Cruiser. What was that Penny Cruiser on there?
Oh, that was, I had him take it off. There was still one in Krugerville? That's
Looked
story
like
map.
it.
Hold on.
Are those pins?
Navo, that's just because it's our fire station.
Yeah, no, that, zooming that.
Oh, the Aubrey Family Dental. I told him today, I asked him today, he hadn't gotten to it yet, but I asked him to take that off.
Okay.
Yeah, I caught that one today. I was like, Krugerville, it just says Aubrey, because they don't know where they live.
And then I think that cycle center had the word cycling misspelled in it. Is-
Yeah, she caught that, and I got that on there.
But where I'm going with that is, do you need some of us to, or do you want some of us to come?
If I send y'all the link and y'all have time to look at it, I would love any second set of eyes to look at that, because after you start staring at these for so long,
Oh.
your mind will go, oh, it's fixed.
Well, I mean, how many pins you got on there now? We said you can only have 100, so
Well, I know, I don't know why he told
you
me.
got 50 or whatever, that's 50. you got-
Well, I know, but he actually told me. This is where I got to talk to him on the phone again. I got to do a Zoom call with him again, because he told me today that we only had 100 pins and I'd have to take a business off to add one. And then I'm like, there's not 100 pins on there. So they do a lot of maps for a lot of cities, so it could have been thinking of a different city.
That was one of the questions I had on the pins, are each individual pins editable? Because if you
Not by
had-
me, though.
If you had like a strip ball with 6 in there, and you
Oh,
put like 6 on the bin.
Good point.
and
You
then
mean like a number?
consolidate your-
Yeah, like where Julius is.
So one
Yeah.
thing gets Julia's, Domino's.
They do, you just have to zoom out more,
Hmm.
so.
No, but that's.
No, like that one right there. Can you just
That
use
could
one
be
pin?
6 pins, or that could be.
Oh, I
one
see what
pin.
you're
One
saying.
pin for 6.
It's about a template. I bet their template doesn't allow, because see how this template is set up here? You
Yeah.
get a picture and you get, it could be a template issue. He had all these pins, the first time I looked at it, all the pins were up here. So I got that fixed, but
Okay.
I mean,
Well, if I
Could you
remember,
not have a pin and then have a list?
a
of
list, we
like
could
Domino's
say,
in
Aubrey,
there,
if we
each
get to
one
that
in
point,
there?
if we get to that point, we could probably get creative.
well, if I remember
I
right.
just
there-
have to see if they limit our lines.
So if you remember, there were at least 3 different levels, and I think we bought the middle.
I think we almost used the.
Silver,
Yeah, maybe there's a goal, yeah, so. And we may, if we get to the point where we're limited really badly on stuff like this, the pins. We may be limited badly on other stuff and happen to upgrade anyways to the next level.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind proofreading.
Okay, yeah, I'll give
feel like
y'all
I'm
that link.
pretty good with that.
Yes, I appreciate that. I'm gonna give y'all that. I also try to be sensitive to y'all's time, but I also know y'all can participate from your computers. Just don't reply all. So as far as that goes, I'll send y'all the story map link after I see if he fixed a few of these things. And then I'm gonna ask him about the listings of more than one address on the listing.
Thank you.
Let's see, like Aubrey Creek Estates, okay, so. That is that, so when we asked him, can you do graphics, can you make a motion graphics, what have you? He said, no, but Neon Cloud does. Well, I had happened to meet Neon Cloud at TEDC. And they had this great display in their booth, board, cool stuff. They do videos, economic development videos. And they have what they call an a la carte package that they can put together for you with a minimum of $20,000 year-long subscription to set your videos up and get everything done. They do drone footage, they do still shots, they do videos, they do social media posts, like things you can put on your social media in a 2-month long campaign per se. So I went on a call with her, Christy and I did, and we talked about our maps and the limitations. Then we talked about what we could do with what we've got here in Aubrey. The greatest challenge Aubrey has is location, like people knowing our location, understanding it. So in our maps, if you're from this area, in our current maps, you know where we are because you see it, if you know where 380 is. But if you're not from here or you don't know the DFW area, you do not understand how close Aubrey is to all these places. So all of this, don't let this number freak you out. This package includes 10 or 11 things we can do digitally, 12 things we can do digitally and include on our website and get embedded into our website. So I've got some samples to show y'all of what the effects are, these graphic effects and videos and so forth. So we can have a 2 to 3 minute video that would talk about our city. It would talk about our economic opportunities. And so I'm going to show y'all Gainesville's video. And it thinks that there is a network error, but there's not. It just sat there. I have 2 on.
And that's using their maps, right?
This is maps they use through Google Earth, but they can put these motion graphics in there. They can do pop-ups. They can do 3D like this.
But this is using the map company that we're using.
No.
Okay.
This is they're going to use Google Earth.
Okay.
They do all these graphics. They come into your community, they take drone footage from different angles. And they get still photos, drone footage. You can tell them what you pick the areas, you get about 10 shots. And they'll take all those shots and do different types of videos and footage with it. They also can do video stuff, but I went through this and scaled down what I think we would really use, because there's a whole lot more they can do but so they've done Salina's video, Allen, Frisco, Gainesville, Abilene, they've done a lot.
I think what would be cool if you could send them to several, you know, like give us some.
Yeah, I can.
Home projects, you know, like.
Yeah.
Review it.
The thing is, so this is a longer video, but that just gives you an example of the quality.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
So this next video is where you're looking at. So like Salina EDC, they're promoting their theater.
This is the same quality that they're bidding for us now. These are like.
Yes, this is what they do. This is how it looks. This is what they do with their drone footage and their photos.
They have their logo, so at least we know it's for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
See?
yeah. I was really impressed with what they can do. But again, see how they're showing where Salina is, because if you aren't from here, you don't know about Salina and the hype of Salina, but you know, if you see it on a map, you can identify it better. But it's about promoting your location. What does that mean relevant to what you're near? What do you have ready to go? Shovel ready projects, land availability, some of that. The freeways. We could put one of those outside. Extra booth. Now, we can provide footage of our events to them as well. If we take some, they can input it into our videos. We would have to, because they don't come out on Saturdays, so we could get still show, we could set up a tripod, take video footage, they can take the best clips and include it.
High quality.
Yeah. So. But some of these graphics are different types of graphics. Some are 3-dimensional, some are motion graphics. Some of these cost a little more than others to do. But there's your pop-ups right there. If you were to show your subdivisions and you pop up with populations and. But what they would do is they come in one day, we would have up to 10 shots, drone included. We gather up volunteers at different locations, have them ready to go when we get there, because they have to get this done quick. So say you want to show a restaurant.
The problem I see with this stuff is you're looking at cities that have so much more commercial opportunities than we do.
Right.
But wait a minute, yes, if you go and ask that EDC, if you ask some of the ones, what they actually pulled off that advertisement, has it been worth it? Because cities put a lot of money
Yeah.
into it. Like we go to the big expos, and those guys that come in are coming to pick up stuff. When you're interested in the area, they're not gonna go to a meeting. I know, I check developments and stuff all the time. I'm gonna make my own stuff. That's gonna sell maybe somebody to move to it, but until we get our zoning set here and we can identify what kind of buildings and restaurants and stuff we want. To me, that, I think it's a great presentation. I don't think it would be worth bringing people to the table.
I don't know if we're right.
Now,
Right.
that's what I'm saying right now.
That-
We've got other steps we need to do first.
A year?
Yeah.
Maybe, 2
Well-
years, maybe, but right now, I have a hard time.
I
I
would,
don't think we have enough to.
because we've done the black, we did some presentations, remember we put into the whiteboard and we did all that?
Right.
And we couldn't even get people to watch them at your shows.
Let me finish, because there's more, that's just one thing they do. They do several things. That's one of the longer videos. I already told her we are not ready for a long video. I want y'all to see quality. I want y'all to see how they take these different graphics and the motion graphics and implement them into a video. But they can also pull them out. They can pull out certain things and put it into a social media 30-second, 20-second, 15-second video, 2 seconds. So this is just, again, I realize we do not have the commercial stuff. We're not ready for that. But here's what, this is just, when she boiled it down, and we have a year to get a lot of this stuff ready. Once they come in and take the photos of your city, they can edit the photos, put things in. They just need to get the drone footage collected. They need to get the photos collected. They can use those things in many different ways. And they can use they can use the graphics on Google to flatten it out and show how the angle, like, you know, how you look at Google Earth and you see the horizon. They can flatten the image, the graphic, and just show the distance from DFW Airport to Aubrey and how you get there. So it's really about what different tools they have that we can use. It is, this cost could be shared with the city. We could go ahead and implement just the photography and drone footage capturing now and pay for some of that with some of the funds we have this year. Then we can kick in more in 2023 and start gathering some things and making some social media pushes that may not even be ready to go out till next summer. But they would be working with us throughout the year, kind of like this map company we have now. I get a portal, go in it, makes changes, suggestions, edits, and then they can give us these finished products embedded that we can put on our website. We can also show those in a booth on a computer screen running.
And that would
Or,
work.
yeah.
They walk right past it.
But she told me, she actually has some testimonials from people that have, Carolyn, to that point of the EDC, that have used them and gotten a business in there. Now, I realize Aubrey's in its infancy stages, but this is where, again, I think we need to dream about where we need to be presenting ourselves for who we want to attract. And we have to look in that appealing way on social media. LinkedIn, actually, they recommended LinkedIn as a place where people put these videos, because LinkedIn is actually where a lot of ED people will go to look for relocate businesses. So if we're on LinkedIn, have a presence there, believe me, I look at this and I go, okay, we're not Salina, we're not this, but when we get a comp plan going and a strategic plan going for us, we can include when we say in a strategic plan, okay, this is what we want to feature. We could put out a video featuring, say it's downtown, growth downtown, commercial growth downtown. They can drop in those box graphics of what we envision being in those blocks. Doesn't have to be a finished product now. So this is just something I wanted y'all to see, to know we have options out there, because this is stuff that we can't do, that Melissa McDormand's not gonna be able to do with our website. This is stuff that, and maybe our guest here, our newest stuff, you know, once he's appointed, knows a little bit more about that stuff probably than I do, but just working in marketing, that see this stylized text, things like that on your website to do those things. It's just a little bit, but this is some simple stuff they can do. And so each of these pieces up here cost a certain amount. It's like an a la carte menu, but you have to order at least $20,000 worth. But we could share that cost with city on some of the things for the master plan for the parks, or when they get their comp plan portion done and they've got some things they want to feature for quality of life. We have subdivisions we want to feature. Those are things that, again, once we know a little bit of that, we can start building these videos or these clips. So I get it. It seems crazy because you're looking at these really sharp images, but like, for instance, 3D maps, they can do this kind of map for us right now. They could put that on there and it would just have these things popping up on our website that, again, just, you got it running in a loop in your booth. It's running in a loop and you're talking about your trade area, your population. So these are things that we're not gonna be able to do ourselves. If this company has the experience in doing them. Locally, I don't know anyone that would do all of these things. And this is who the map company referred us to because they don't do all this stuff. So if we want, other than flat maps, these are some things we could get from Neon Cloud. And they don't have to happen in the next 3 months or in the next year. We would have, kind of like with the map company, we'd have a year to work through it. But we may be more in this stage of growth right now where we're pointing out, okay, where do we have fiber? They can make these, motion graphics and
I don't think we want to brag on Auburn's here.
well, are we getting better soon enough? Yeah. So if we had, when we get, okay, so let's go here. If we have a ball field someday that we want to promote and push out, we could promote and push out. We've got a ball field, or we've got this park, or we have this trail. So this is mostly all industrial, just because that's what a lot of these cities around us are putting out there. But
I think this is conceptually a great plan and a great company, but again, I would say not right now. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Okay.
show me another 25 videos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's my thing is we're not there. Once we
Okay.
have the ball fields going, once we buy this piece of land and we have
Yep.
something,
I think in terms of
if we bought anything.
if we have a comp plan, it's gonna help us know what we're gonna need to do. So, and I told Charles today, I said, we really need a plan before we move forward on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. I just wanted y'all to know this type of quality is out there. And I think we should shoot for the stars when we're ready.
I bet we're at least a year away from ready to actually engage them.
Okay.
If you think about all the work we've got ahead, you talk about Placer AI, and then shoot, we certainly wouldn't want them doing a video downtown if we're to put
Yeah.
zero in this building. And so-
Well, that's where they can edit and do
Yeah.
the building pop-ups, but I know what you
That's what
mean.
We're probably at
Yeah.
least 6 months away from even starting the contract with them with a 1-year timeline, maybe more like a year, and then another 1-year timeline.
That, I agree. I think it's a great concept. I think it's a great thing to look for, but right now I don't see that we have anything that would. I think it wouldn't be a good use of our money right now.
Okay.
So we have more zoning opportunities that you could do those pop-ups and say.
Yeah.
this is
And that
commercial,
said,
this is industrial.
You might ask them like what their capture video requirements are. And then get with parks, like when we're doing Museum of the Park, doing a thing during Peanut Festival, like to gather in that.
Well, she already gave me all that. So that's what I told Christy, we can start gathering that footage now, but like drone footage, they do their own drone stuff, but
They should be looking.
I feel like we really need to come up with ways to really tout where Aubrey's located. So maybe through some imagery and maybe, some other types of photos we could. So, okay. So on the maps, that was all I had. I wanted y'all to know that our map company is limited in some of those graphics and things we can do. I will change the updates and make what we've discussed here. But in terms of anything else, did y'all have any other questions on the maps, the map program?
No, it was just a reminder to send us the links, so those of us that can get some time to.
Okay. Yeah, let me send you that story map.
So
link,
I have to
Tyler.
go.
Okay.
My wife is making banana pudding.
Oh,
Tomorrow, and I have the bananas in my.
oh my gosh, they're probably hot and gross now.
It's getting late.
All right.
Story about it
Okay.
another time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Charles.
Anybody?
Okay. So I will send the story map link to y'all. I'll send it out in just a board email, and that way y'all can all look at it, because somebody might know a place we forgot about. And if y'all can just get back to me maybe by Thursday, end of the week.
Cause you're out Friday.
I'll
so-
be out Friday, but Thursday.
And then next week.
And then I'll get that embedded link to, because Thursday I'm meeting with Melissa about where to put all this stuff on our website. So I'll get that embedded link to her. And then the maps, the other maps, they're just, my only focus is that ETJ map that shows city limit ETJ and all of Aubrey's potential and current growth on the ground.
Yeah, well, that's where.
And
like,
that's
stuff
the one
like Placer AI stuff might be good.
Yeah,
The
that-
infographics go on some of those.
Well, and I have to get our map to Placer
Yeah.
AI so that they can put it into our program, and I can figure, they can help look at our trade areas and where we're drawing people. So that's the next step I have to do. but I just gotta make sure it's updated. So, okay, item 6. gift
Well, hang
basket.
So
Oh,
we have no
sorry.
action on 5. Item 6, consideration action regarding gift basket items to be businesses located on city limits and in the ETJ.
Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all some stuff I found, see if y'all think it would be cool to go ahead and get some of these items to stick in baskets. These are, I can get us in that price range. She also can make us custom stuff, by the way. This is that Cherish Homes, but just, I thought fun things like this for businesses to just put up in their business or, this was Peanut Gallery. This was, yeah, where?
At the sign.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering. So I thought these were some fun pictures just to kind of capture Aubrey's vibe. And then they've got these. I also thought about getting one for Johnny for a little gift as a thank you, that maybe I can get him to come pick it up. So anyway, these can come in different sizes, by the way. They can make them custom for us if we wanted to. So this is the pricing for those photos that are at the Peanut Gallery. So
There's neat stuff over at Casey. I mean, there's several different
Yeah.
businesses in this area that you can glean from. I don't personally have a preference of anything in particular.
okay, yeah, I saw what was at Casey and Co. and Ruby Tate's always has great food, so we can look at the food. That's who did the cookies. I've got the cookies today. So if y'all are good with that, I'll start purchasing some. We do have some businesses that need to be, this is something else I'll email y'all. The businesses that I know of that probably have not had a visit in the last couple of years since they're new. I don't know when the last time y'all did the basket visits was, but I need to make sure I'm including.
Whenever we post it on the Facebook page.
Okay, so that was Ruby Kate's and I think it was,
Ruby cakes or the Nancy cakes?
yeah, it was Nancy Kate's at that time.
So it's not changed.
So I'll send y'all a list of who I think has not been visited and y'all can confirm that for me.
Well, I guess we got to, if it was 2 years ago, like, hey, here's your welcome to Aubrey gift. Maybe that's a little bit too old.
Yeah, I think that'd be a little weird.
I think it's just a courtesy call and
We appreciate you having.
yeah, we're local
You
business.
cannot make it
Thank you
up
for
with
being a
local
local
Aubrey.
business.
For the story maps, they've got that little card section there. You said you didn't like the Google Earth look. Can it be any photo?
Ideally, it's supposed to be a photo of the business.
Okay.
And I thought about contacting each business, asking them to send us a photo, but not
Yeah,
everybody's a great
yeah.
photo taker.
Yeah.
So we could all split the list and go take photos with our iPhones. They don't have to be high quality. They can just be an iPhone photo. So
Well, it's gonna be squeezed out.
think about that. Think about that. And
Let's
if you
do
have,
that.
if you would like to go take a photo of some businesses and send them to me or whatever, that would be awesome. Just sometimes Google Photos, they have like all these stuff in front of it and the background shots are, so. I like to get more angles of the nice regular building. Okay, so ETJ, I'll just make them, thank you for having a local business basket.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
The biggest thing to do with businesses we already have would be another step to reach out and say, we do have an MDD, we do
Yeah.
have grants, and here's a basket, contact us, that
Yeah.
simple in and out.
Educational.
5 minutes, yeah.
And then, a warning that we want them to, whenever you go live with that website, that we're gonna ask them to go look at their information and make sure it's right. Because if like the contact number is wrong, they're
Yeah.
gonna catch that faster than
Yeah.
any of us.
So rather than welcome, maybe right now we do the bring back, update our businesses, saying we have this map and our information, and we
I can-
appreciate you,
Yeah.
here's what we offer.
Yeah,
Like,
I
and
can
there's
put
other
a one
stuff.
sheet on the
Yeah.
MPD and stuff and kind of let them know what we do.
See, like there's a
Where we
local
are.
beekeeper, you could do little balls of honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mix it up instead of just the exact same thing for everybody.
Right, oh, yeah, because I wouldn't want to take Peanut Gallery their own pictures. I'd be taking them cookies.
I know Peanut Gallery got a welcome basket, I know that for
Okay.
sure.
Okay,
I
so
remember when that one was done.
but I liked what the Aubrey, the local feel, and some of these businesses may not even know they have those, and it's a good cross-referencing for them to know, oh, by the way, you can go get that over here, and they promote each other and cross-market each other, so that's always worked in the past.
Well, the Peanut Gallery is a good example though. They're doing their food truck part.
Yeah,
I don't know what their pin said. That pin might need to be
Yeah.
updated for a food truck.
just said Peanut Gallery right now.
You
I
know,
don't think
or a
it's finished
second
yet,
pin
but
if we're
yeah,
not running out of
we could do a
pins.
second
I mean,
pin.
I can see stuff like that.
Mhm.
I
And
didn't see
again,
about that,
just
Peanut
just
Gallery.
know that story map is can constantly be updated. So anytime you're out and about, you see something, just shoot me an email and I'll
So
get it updated.
what action are you looking for from us on this?
Just if you want to go with me, you can, or if you want to just say go on and be merry. And the action I'm looking for y'all is a business you can think of that might need a basket. If I'm going to send y'all an email though first and say, here's who I think may need a basket or a visit.
Okay.
And if I'm
Why don't
wrong,
we just make a list of all the local ones that have just kind of start working that list, so many a month, because.
oh, you want not just,
Existing,
okay, sure.
because as far as I know, if there's been any new ones, that would be great, but I don't know of any new ones that have come in recently that haven't had that already welcome, so we stayed on top of that.
No. Well, you think about like Julia's.
But that- That one hasn't, but that's.
And no, Julia did not.
Oh my goodness.
Right next to Jack, that whole strip,
That one's all.
that's all over city limits. There's the new dental place.
Y'all can look at that story map and see.
No,
Yeah.
I know we did Julia's because that's just come up, and I don't think we did that dental one, but before that, like we've done. Everything.
Yeah, I know that Cherish Home hasn't, no one in that Aubrey Creek Estates has probably been visited. Cherish Home, she just opened it in May. So
Okay,
but what I'll do is send y'all the story link map, y'all edit it. If you see a business on there that you think should for sure get a visit first, like the newer ones, let me know. And then I'm gonna make a list of the ones to prioritize first.
The last one was Peanut Gallery, August 30th, 2021.
Which was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that one when I came, I didn't know we had one out there. Before.
Okay. So I'll make a list of who I think, but I'll send that with the story map link. So only really action I need is just y'all to help out with
okay, so we don't need
keeping
board
track.
action.
So,
Right, so
and
discussion.
I mean, I thought if you were refusing to want to go get those items, that would be your action to say, no, don't buy those.
No.
But
Did we,
We said
we didn't already take an action on a dollar amount per basket?
yeah, we did in the
We did?
last meeting. Yeah. And it's average 50 to 75 was what it worked out to be. We budgeted 1,500 for the year for next year. But we have money in this year's budget that I can get some stuff done.
Okay, so we got discussion only on 6. Consideration action, or you're ready, right? Everybody's ready with 6, move on. Consideration action regarding mural design.
That my artist had an accident yesterday on I-35, so she was not able to get her stuff to me. I told her that's fine. I think what we need to do is we need to talk to city staff, chamber staff, and some others to get input on what do we want envisioned for this mural on the side of the wall. If we want to proceed forward with something at the top, since the chamber's not going to put a sign at the top, we can still look at a design idea she might have for that, but because she had the wreck, I was like, don't worry.
So we just need to take.
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
say,
Table. Moving on, number 8, consideration of website blog topics.
again,
By the way.
she's okay, thank you, but the cars behind her were all totaled. It's a miracle she did not get crushed. So she's good, but she asked if I could just come back to that. So,
Sure.
website blog topics. Okay, this again is just something I want to throw out there because again, I'm going to talk to what do you want to call her, Carolyn, Melissa McDormand about it on Thursday. I'd like to figure out implementing a blog at least once a month on our website. We do some kind of blog. It can be about any of these topics. Doesn't have to be, something fancy. It can be maybe featuring a new business. It can be
Yeah.
featuring a new pad site that's going to get developed. It can be a lot of different things. But it gives us something to post on our social media that brings them back to our website, that then brings them back to see our maps and all the things we've got. So it's an awareness builder and it creates awareness. That's all it is. And I know there's people that may have expertise to want to write something themselves, and that's totally fine with me too. So Carolyn, you might want to do something on design tips. Or, we may have somebody who wants to do things on 3D printing. I mean, who knows, or industry stuff or whatever it is.
I'm a
So
great
like-
editor, I am not a writer.
You can also promote on those blogs like music in the park.
Yes.
All the things.
Yeah.
that happen.
We just-
The peanut
Yeah,
festival, the history, a little bit of that. blog
Yeah.
will come join.
we have to
Each
think
new
of it,
development.
we have to think of it as just a platform to use to get more awareness and increase awareness. And if you commit to only one time a month, that's easy to do. We can do more than once. I'm just saying the rule of thumb in social media is don't post more than you can continue to keep posting. So you got to start out like you can hold out. So that's why I was saying once a month right now. So I am saying I would invite y'all to be guest editors or guest authors of a blog. I am not opposed to anyone else coming in and writing something or whatever. Because content is good to get from different experts and different people. So that's that idea.
I think we should help use his marketing
Sure,
expertise over
yeah.
there.
I will pick his,
That's the part I read that.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
That's a-
I signed the love, I didn't do the technical part to it.
cool.
I had something to do with government monitoring.
I will
I know
pick your
from-
brain.
Yes, exactly.
Goes to your websites, the more dynamic information that changes on a regular basis, the higher.
Yeah.
Searches.
Right.
and hits.
Yeah, we're stale.
Recognition.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
So we can take photos. If y'all are out, and you got a photo you took in your of your on your iPhone. It's
Just
okay. The
clean
iPhones
your
now
lenses.
have the best, like
You say?
Clean your
lenses
lenses before you
before you
take a
take a
photo.
so iPhones have great cameras now. We can really
Clean your
utilize those, I think. So I think don't be afraid to send me a photo that was on an iPhone or something. I'm great at cropping and using some filters. So that would be my next suggestion for us to really kind of get out there on social media. Just give us a little more to use. If you have a social media post idea, please feel free to tell me.
I like the
Vicky.
idea about doing the new businesses.
For
Okay,
sure. I do too.
okay. Yeah, because we haven't done anything on probably Julia's or Cherished Homes or whatever. So, okay, so that I don't know if that needs or particular action as much as I just wanted y'all. Yeah, so I just wanted y'all to partake in the conversation and just also to know that y'all can send me any ideas.
Okay, discussion only. Item number 9, consideration act regarding 12/12 quarterly non-fees.
I'm gonna defer to Carolyn on that
Should we
because
change
That's,
the name?
we actually need to do a committee for that. That's not something you're gonna wanna set in time and here to do, because you're gonna have to set up and figure out what you're gonna do and bring it back, but you're gonna wanna set your places, and that really needs to be a committee that wants to volunteer to do that. It'd be my suggestion. Doesn't have to be a big committee, it can just be 2 or 3 people, but somebody.
Gotta be no more than 3, right? So
Huh?
it's gotta be no more than 3.
Well, not if it's a committee though. If
Yeah.
it's a committee,
it's,
I think it's the use of forum.
I don't
You
think-
can't have a quorum.
so a committee they can't do subcommittees with for
They-
like planning something?
They could, but it would need to be less than a quorum, or you'd need to post a possibility of quorum for when
So
they meet.
3 or less. Yeah, we just have to say possible, but 3 or less, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
3 or 12.
So long as there's 7 on the board.
Okay.
okay. So we can have a subcommittee of 3 or less. I don't count, correct?
Correct. Just
Right,
so you know.
correct. So,
And just as a reminder, the people in the subcommittee shouldn't be talking to anyone else on the board until the meeting happens about what they've discussed with the subcommittee. Because if
Okay.
you talk to somebody else, then you've committed a walking quorum.
and that's for in a meeting setting, correct? So if
Well,
they're having a
is
subcommittee meeting, they cannot go out after the subcommittee meeting and talk about their ideas or whatever to any other board members until the board meeting,
Yeah,
correct?
so committees like Holly, Mark, Carolyn, Mark lives like across the street from him. Hey, Mark,
Yeah,
I can't go, hey, how'd that meeting go? And him tell
Yeah.
me.
that's if a meeting's been called, yes, okay. So can they have other people, so say for instance, the chamber staff person wanted to, I could have her come with us and help, or if they had a chamber board member that might want to help. I'm just asking scenario.
Yeah, I
The
like,
more people you get involved. in
Oh, no, I'm not
committees,
saying we are gonna get involved. I'm asking forming a subcommittee if, so I as a staff person don't count as the quorum, but if there was another a MDD board member and say the chamber exec came into a meeting, is that okay?
Well,
She's a Staff person.
I mean, they can be there. The subcommittee can't commit the board to anything. They're just
Yeah.
making recommendations.
okay.
I guess if
Yeah.
you're just having coffee and
Yeah, you're just
talking about
talking.
things.
No motions or anything like that. Okay. Cool. Okay,
Basically, the committee's gonna be just someone that go, for instance, we go, let's check out so-and-so, you check out item A, I check out B, you check out C. Let's see what we can bring in for the venue. Then you come back to the board and say, these are our options, you bring it back. So it's not like.
or topics.
Yeah, it's topics.
This is
You're
the
not
topics for the
making
next year. So you can kind of work group that a little bit.
Right,
yeah.
The whole time.
yeah.
And that's,
We can do that phone wise, when we said that, rather than somebody trying to find time to come in and do it until you can do it.
And that's normal subcommittee work, so I think that's fine. Okay, so, do you want to decide a subcommittee now?
Sounds like you want to be on the subcommittee.
We need to. There's so many people on.
I agree with you.
Carolyn's
It needs to
leadership.
be small. It
Yes.
needs to be small. I don't think we should have a lot of outside folks in on a regular. You might bring them in occasionally, like if there was if you guys, I don't know, say subcommittee this plan of like, here's the 4 events, here's our topics.
Mhm.
Okay, well, this one topic, we probably want to partner with the chamber in. You might meet with the chamber person or have Christine meet with the chamber person about it and lock that down. But they shouldn't be at everyone driving it. It should be this board driving it and the subcommittee is.
Oh, of course, yeah.
driving it.
I'm just
But-
saying, if you had
If there's more than
wanted
3
to
or 4 people in that
cooperatively work
room,
on
it's too
something.
many.
on one meeting, we could do that. But no more than 3 of y'all. So are there people who want to help?
I know you want.
I'm
I
putting
assume you
Carolyn
want. to.
down.
I couldn't, maybe I put words.
I'll do it. I'll be on it. You wanna be on it?
If you're heading it, I'm not gonna hit it though.
Well, I don't know that we need to. We just need to have a group meeting, make a topic of list and bring it back and say, here's what we found. And it is very easy then for the board to say, here's the cost of this, here's this or that. And you're not having to spend a ton of time
I'll
on
push
it.
it back
And
then.
then you're gonna say, who wants to volunteer to go contact all these businesses? Who wants to go do this? You're gonna spread it out. Yeah.
Okay,
Anybody else want to know
so Carolyn, Holly,
I feel like that's something the new guys should do.
that?
Is that your name?
will you have anything before September's meeting that you would be, or when do we want to even start this? I do think tonight, if we could decide, that's what I had recommended, was tonight, try to decide what quarter y'all want to start it, and what month. So that y'all have time to go forward, like, a timeline of when you need to come back and
I
report.
think,
Sorry, after the first of the year?
yeah, I mean, I think we need at least a couple of months to throw ideas together and just come up with what we're looking at, maybe bring it back to an October board meeting, not September.
Okay.
Yeah. That gives us.
Okay.
And then you're not targeting a meeting before the term, after.
Yeah,
The first
then you
year,
bring back
some
a
point.
presentation and you can do action on it at that meeting once it's presented or do it like that.
Okay,
But I know that it takes some time and it takes longer than just overnight.
okay. So I guess. that's-
Alicia, do we need to do a motion on appointing a subcommittee?
It probably wouldn't hurt. I don't know that you have to, but if you want to have it formalized, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay,
Are we ready to formalize it?
I mean, we have 2 people that want to be in the subcommittee.
Leave it
I
open for adding
mean, I'll
one
do
more?
it if you guys want a third opinion.
Or do we want to leave it open so September someone decides they want to join it?
We can always do, okay, so the subcommittee, we're not gonna take any action tonight then?
Maybe we do that in September. You
So
want
we
to
could do action that if we wanted to discuss some things to set up, we could do that as a subcommittee for the 12 and 12 lunch. Correct? Am I
Well-
hearing you right?
So then, Lisa, you said it'd probably be better if we did a motion to create the subcommittee, is that right?
Right.
But we can also take action at a future meeting to change the subcommittee.
Yes, you can.
Okay, all
Okay,
right, so. You,
I'll make a
That's- yeah.
motion. Then. I'll make a motion that we create a subcommittee for our 12 quarterly luncheons and appoint Holly and Carolyn to that subcommittee.
I'll second that motion.
If there's no chill, and all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. All right. Future agenda requests, board member, city staff and citizen may request items be included on future agendas, discussion limited to what the request is for. And if and when the item can be put on a future agenda, I'm gonna say that mural design is gonna slide down to next month.
Yeah, we can even table that till October or something. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere on that anytime soon. So I think we could take a break from it. If she comes back with a design, for something at the top of the building, that she's going out of town in September though, and that's why I think it's not gonna be anytime soon. Cause she's gonna be out of the country for 2 weeks.
Well, you guys had already talked about some of the design elements. Like you talked about Christina through the design elements, you
did.
wanted, right? So she could bring an artist rendering, she could give examples. We don't have to take action. then, but we
Right.
should- I don't want,
If she
I
has
wouldn't
something,
lose
I'll bring it to September's meeting. If not, we'll take
yeah,
it.
so for now, let's put it on there that we're gonna do it, and if we have to take it off, we will, or we'll just table it again if we need to.
So,
You'll have to do officers.
now what I can do next month. If I have any map updates, I can keep that on there if y'all want that. Otherwise,
Thank you
it
for
could be
coming.
go back to
Part of your staff report.
Okay.
Like you can just make it a
Okay.
section of your staff
Yeah.
report.
Okay.
You know, now that you've kind of showed us
Yeah.
that, or if you, now, if you feel like there's some new functionality you learned in talking to them, and there's something that you like
Yeah.
significantly different, we can add that as a separate item.
okay. All right, so I will put mural officers election on the next agenda, and then I'll put in my other stuff staff report, because that's what I wanted to come back to y'all with some things from AI, Placer AI, and maybe Zach Tech,
Yep.
just data and information that I'm able to share. I
Will you
wanted
have
to be able
data
to
from Placer?
some, I mean, I can get scenarios from them, but I won't have specific, I won't have a month's worth of Aubrey's data, but I will have some scenarios I can share with y'all of where I think we should focus. So I'll put that in my staff report.
From them.
It takes 3 to 5 days for them to upload the ETJ map. So I just need to make sure the map companies fixed our map, and then I'm gonna send it to them.
Right. And then we probably should put 12 at 12 back on for next month,
Oh,
in case we
well,
need to change the
you say you
subcommittee.
wanted October.
Well, but if you guys didn't say one of y'all wants off, or somebody else wants on, it may be a very quick item, it may be one we table and don't actually discuss, but we could take action if it's on there if we. want
That's
to.
fine, or we could table it if we're not ready.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. So. And I expect you guys probably won't have like a full layout, but if we want to take action and adjust the subcommittee, we'll have it available.
okay.
I just know we gotta get these meetings shorter because
Yeah.
there's everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm only gonna put 2 of those things on there. Okay. All right, so that's it for me.
And we'll probably have an item for executive session.
If we have more stuff on the,
Mhm.
yes.
I mean,
I'll
we
see
should have
how
some
that-
sort of update.
Yeah, we
It
need
might
to-
not actually be,
I'll always
substantive, but it
always
should be in-
keep that possibility. on
Yeah.
there. But, okay. And Alicia, did it help you to have executive session at the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah, however you want to set it up.
Okay. Okay. All right.
all right, any other
I was-
agenda items? Last chances, speak piece. Okay. Jack, would you like to make your traditional motion?
At 8:46, and I'll second that.
Motion by Jack, second by Vicky, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so. I gotta stop recording.